Decimal numbers. In this module, you will learn about decimal numbers, its place value, and its comparison. A decimal is any number in our base 10 number system. Decimals are numbers with one visible point or dot somewhere in the number. This point is called the decimal point. For example, in the decimal number 6.42, the point given between the number 6 and 42 is called decimal point. A decimal may have both a whole number part and a fractional part. The whole number part of a decimal are those digits to the left of the decimal point. The fractional part of a decimal is represented by the digits to the right of the decimal point. The decimal point is used to separate these parts. Let's see some examples with the help of a table. In the decimal number 4.85, 4 is the whole number part and 85 is the fractional part. Similarly, in the decimal number 6.135, 6 is the whole number part and 135 is the fractional part. Now let us see how this all works. It is all about place value. When we write numbers, the position or place of each digit is important. In the number 487, the 7 is in the unit's position, meaning just 7 or 7 ones. 8 is in the tens position, meaning 8 tens or 80. And the 4 is in the hundreds position, meaning 4 hundreds. As we go to the left, each position is 10 times bigger. For example, 100 is 10 times bigger than tens. As we go right, each position is 10 times smaller. For example, from hundreds to tens to units. But what if we continue after decimal point? 1/10 is smaller than units. But if we must first write a decimal point, so we know exactly where the unit's position is. 487 and 4/10. But we normally say it 487.4. We can continue with smaller and smaller values, from tenths to hundredths and so on, like shown in this example. We can see in the place value chart, the number considered is 273.468, and each digit represents a different place value. A decimal fraction is a fraction where the denominator, the bottom number, is a number such as 10, 100, 1000, etc. In other words, a power of 10. So, 3.8 would look like this, and 14.98 would look like this. You can write decimal fractions with a decimal point and no denominator, which makes it easier to do calculations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division on fractions. 8/10 is a decimal fraction, and it can be shown as 0.8. 53/100 is a decimal fraction, and it can be shown as 0.53. 81/1000 is a decimal fraction, and it can be shown as 0.081. Let's check one more example. In point 8, there is one decimal digit, so 10 is the denominator. In point 08, there are two decimal digits, so 2 zeros is the denominator. In point 008, there are three decimal digits, so 3 zeros is the denominator, and so on. The number of decimal digits indicates the power of 10. Decimals and fractions are just different ways of showing the same value. A half can be written as a fraction, 1 by 2. As a decimal, 0.5. How to compare the decimal number? First, compare the whole numbers to the left of the decimal point. For instance, compare 34.456 with 89.989. If the whole numbers are not same, the smaller decimal number is the one with the smaller whole number. In decimal number 89.989 and 34.456, 89 is bigger than 34. So we write 89.989 greater than 34.456 or 34.456 less than 89.989. On the other hand, if the whole numbers are the same, then compare the numbers to the right of the decimal point. For instance, compare 60.802 with 60.504. If count of digits after decimal points is same, then compare the numbers together. The smaller decimal number is the one with the smaller number on the right of the decimal point. Here 504 is smaller than 802. So the smaller decimal number is 60.504. We write it as 60.504 is less than 60.802 or 60.802 is greater than 60.504. Sometimes they may not have the same number of decimal places to the right of the decimal point. Just add 0 or zeros in this case. For instance, compare 10.598 with 10.61. Add a 0 after 61 to get 10.610. Now 610 is bigger than 598. So 10.598 is less than 10.61. Now let's compare 0.053 with 0.00885. In such cases, it may not be obvious which one of the numbers to the right of the decimal point is bigger or smaller. So in this case, compare each digit to the right of the decimal point, starting with the tenths place. If the digits in the tenths place are equal, compare the digits in the hundredths place, and so forth. For instance, compare 0.053 with 0.00885. Now, let's compare 1.3045 with 1.3060. The digits in the tenths place, which are 3 and 3, are equal, so we cannot conclude. The digits in the hundredths place, which are 0 and 0, are equal, so we cannot conclude. The digits in the thousandths place are 4 and 6, so 4 is lesser than 6. Therefore, 1.3045 is less than 1.3060. Let us summarize all that we learned in this module on decimal numbers.